Good evening. Welcome to the October 15th, 2019 City Council meeting. And we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Claire Wilson will take care of that. Thank you, Claire. And roll call, please.
Dave Bowman.
Present.
Barbara Bynum.
Present.
Roy Anderson.
Present.
Judy Ann Files.
Present.
Doug Glassbell.
Present.
All council members are present.
And any changes to the agenda?
Yeah, we have a couple changes to the agenda for tonight. The first one, we are revising the wording of item number 8 to read letter of support for Black Canyon Boys and Girls Club USDA loan application. Next, we're revising agenda item number 10 to remove Sage Wilbur from the list of youth council applicants to be appointed to the 2019-20 Youth Council. She withdrew her application this afternoon. Number 3, we are adding an agenda item number 13 that will read, consider postponing the city council meeting scheduled for Tuesday, November 5th, 2019, and to reschedule said meeting for Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 at 11 a.m. and to renumber the following agenda items accordingly. So, according to Municipal Code Section 193, Clause B, the council may cancel, postpone, or set another date or time for any regularly scheduled meeting by motion only. And so the action on our agenda item tonight is to consider making a motion to do that, to move that meeting 1 week later and at a different time.
Very good, thank you. And do we have a proclamation? Is that? This proclamation. This is okay, proclamation, White Cane Awareness Day, October 15, 2019. Excuse me. Whereas the white cane, which every blind citizen of Montrose, Colorado has the right to carry, demonstrates and symbolizes the ability to achieve a full and independent life and the capacity to work productively in competitive employment. And whereas the white cane, by allowing every blind person to move freely and safely from place to place, makes it possible for the blind to fully participate and contribute to our society and to live the lives they want. And whereas every citizen should be aware that the law requires that motorists and cyclists exercise appropriate caution when approaching a blind person carrying a white cane, and whereas Montrose, Colorado, law also calls upon employers, both public and private, to be aware of and utilize the employment skills of our blind citizens by recognizing their worth as individuals and their productive capacities. And whereas Montrose, Colorado, through its public agencies and the cooperative assistance of the Center for Independence, can and should facilitate the expansion of employment opportunities for and greater acceptance of blind persons in the competitive labor market. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Dave Bowman, and the City Council of the City of Montrose, Colorado, do hereby proclaim October 15, 2019 as White Cane Awareness Day in the City of Montrose. In so doing, we call upon employers, schools, and other community organizations in Montrose to offer full opportunities for training to blind persons, upon employers and the public to utilize the available skills of competent blind persons, and to open new opportunities for the blind in our rapidly changing society, and upon all citizens to recognize the white cane as a tool of independence for blind pedestrians on our streets and highway. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause to be affixed the seal of the City of Montrose this 15th day of October, 2019. Is there anybody here to accept this? Okay, thank you. Is there anybody that wishes to talk to City Council about any issues that are not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move into the agenda. And number 7, approval of minutes. City Council consideration of the minutes of October 1, 2019, regular City Council meeting. And anybody have any comments, questions? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Please vote. And item 8, letter of support for Black Canyon Boys and Girls Club grant application. The official language is, we're going to sign a letter of support for Black Canyon Boys and Girls Club USDA loan application, and I'm going to turn it over to Bud Taylor to talk to us about what's going on. Or am I going to Kendall?
Either way,
All right.
we both have the information. But yes, so we have a letter of support before you. First of all, thank you for a USDA loan application. The Boys and Girls Club is looking to apply here in the near future for a loan for their new facility that they plan to build, which will double to potentially triple the number of members that they currently have. To date, they've already raised over $400,000 for their new facility. In the letter of support, it also mentions that in the near future, I will be back to council to present a resolution of support and to sponsor a community development block grant application. And that's merely mentioned in the letter to basically say that more community support is likely on the way. But I obviously couldn't commit that that's what the city council will do, but did mention it in the letter. So that being said, Bud Taylor, the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club, is here tonight to briefly present on his project for a couple minutes. Thanks, Bud, and thank you.
All right, thank you, Kendall. Appreciate the introduction. So again, my name is Bud Taylor. I'm the executive director of the Black Canyon Boys and Girls Club, and I just want to correct Kendall on one little piece. We actually hit our $500,000 mark just today. So we're super excited.
Congrats. Super.
So that brings us to half of our goal that we need to raise. So this project is a $3 to $3.5 million project. We're going to break it up into 3 different groups. We're raising $1 million with local funds. We're going to do $1 million in grants, and then $1 million to $1.5 million in this loan. So this is why we need your supports. The biggest thing too, with our facility doubling and possibly tripling the number of kids, is we have a 2-year waiting list. So that means if someone moves into town and they have a first grader, they may not stay in town because they can't get their kids into daycare or into a safe facility until 3rd grade. So that's one of our big pushes and why this is needed so heavily. And so, yeah, we just want to thank you all for your support. And I do have a couple of brochures that I'd like to give to council now.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, sir. The council, any questions, comments? Everybody understand what we're voting on?
I think we have a good record in supporting nonprofits in our community. And I like that. I'm glad that we are able to do that. So thank you, Kendall, for working on this grant. Thank you, Bud, for needing the community support.
And just to clarify, Kendall, the city is not putting in a dollar amount. Your staff time is involved, but this is a letter of support, not a letter of financial commitment, correct?
That is correct. So this is a letter of support only for the USDA loan application. And then either in December or January, I will come back to the council for the community development block grant. And at that time, it will be my staff time. But for this initial letter of support, I'm not really doing anything, but the council's just supporting the project. But later, it will be my staff time if a grant were approved.
Got it. Thanks.
Clear as mud?
Yes, now, yeah.
Okay, we ready to proceed or anything else? And you have the official language.
I do, Mr. Mayor. I will make a motion that we approve a letter of support for a USDA loan application for the Black Canyon Boys and Girls Club.
I'll second it.
And please vote. And that passes unanimously. And City Council will interview the applicants for the City of Montrose Youth Council for 2019. We've interviewed several of them at the last meeting, and we're going to finish it up this evening, I believe. Michaela?
All right, thank you, Council. So as mentioned, we do have a few more applicants this evening. We did unfortunately have one applicant who was unable to continue in the process. Ms. Wilbur had to withdraw her application this morning, so we won't have her for an interview, but we will have 2 in-person interviews this evening, as well as 2 video interviews that we will be bringing in. So if the applicants would like to just grab a seat here, one of you can come up first and make it confusing for you. So we will just have you draw a question here, state your name, school, read the question, and then give a 30-second to 1-minute response, and that'll do it. Perfect. Thank you.
Number 7, give an example of a project or activity you would like Youth Council to pursue. One of the activities that I would like to pursue is I live in one of the more impoverished areas of our county. So I would like to get more support and the community to help the grass within our little park that we have. Previously, Grace Community Church has created a park and added a swing set. However, there's still many of the children who would like a soccer field or at least someone to help maintain the groundskeeping. I know for a fact that the people within the neighborhood are willing to help out during the summer, but it's also hard to get the support when no motions are direct. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. And Claire?
Hi, my name's Claire Wilson, and I go to Montrose High School, and I'm a senior this year. And my question is, oh, no, that's Claire's question. Why do you think it's important to be civically engaged as a young adult? Well, from a lot of experience in my government class, we talk a lot about how much the American population knows about how our government is run. And it's just astounding of how little we know as a population. And I think through youth council, but also through like our government classes at school, I've just learned so much about like, oh, that's how it works. Got it, okay. And like, it just makes me make better decisions, not only like politically, but like just make better decisions. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Olivia Haga. I'm a senior at Montrose High School. My question is, what goals would I like to see the 2019-2020 Youth Council accomplish? My answer to this is that I'd like to see us accomplish more community service-oriented projects, because I felt like last year we didn't really complete this. We didn't finish any of our road cleanups, and I think it's important as a youth council to kind of give back to the community and find our place in the community. And as a organization, that's a very impactful and important role to play.
Hi, my name is Josephine Coulter. I am a sophomore at Montrose High School. And my question was, tell us what you do to be a good role model for the youth in this community. So what I try to do is I just try to put my best foot forward whenever I am out in the community and practice those habits at home. So for example, just practicing good manners, I think, is always a good thing to do for anyone, strangers, not strangers, family members, anybody that you know. I think it is a really good idea to just practice good manners. So especially if you can do that in the community, I think that's awesome. And also, speaking up for what you believe, I think it's also really, really good. I was in the activist rally for the environment, and I think that's a good way to show the youth that it's okay to use your voice and show the community that you have one. And I really enjoy doing things like that. So thank you.
Yeah, two, very high quality. That's super stuff. Super stuff.
So that does conclude our interviews at this time. You will notice we did have one other applicant listed, Kylie Lange, who it seems was unable to make it this evening. So I would ask, as council moves into the appointment portion, if we would also remove her from the list at this time. And I will reach out to Kylie going forward about that interview scheduling.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Great job. The videos were good too. I mean,
Yes.
they were well done, yeah.
And in fact, knowing how busy high school students' schedules are, I think I still feel like seeing them is great, but I wonder if we couldn't use more technology going forward, especially as it impacts their evenings. And the end of the quarter was just last week, and I just know they're super busy. I think seeing this is important at some point, but there may be a use for that technology going forward.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think that right now what the kids are doing, paper and pencil applications, they all have iPads. It would be nice if we could move this to a more modern technology form. And I think the video idea was very, very cool. That was, and maybe just work on something that's part of the application period, to just let them practice in front of the camera. That's part of politics, and youth council, by definition, is political. So let's break them in.
Thanks for bringing us some good applications. I'll make a motion.
It just says we're reviewing.
Oh,
Oh, you're on.
I think there's an action.
Oh,
Number 10.
Oh, I was jumping the gun. Sorry.
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, to me, we're on to 10 at this point.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we appoint Rhiannon Allen, Clara Carrasco, Gunnison Clamp, Josephine Coulter, Olivia Haga, Zachary Olroyd, Claire Wilson, and Mari Wilson to the City of Montrose Youth Council for the 2019-2020 term.
And I'd like to second that.
Any further discussion? Let's vote. And that's unanimous. All right, congratulations.
Thanks for
Hey, more meetings. Okay, on to number 11, new hotel and restaurant liquor license application. City Council consideration of a new hotel and restaurant liquor license at 233/235 North First Street for Mingle Sports Bar LLC, doing business as Mingle for the consumption of the licensed premises. And I will open a hearing and turn it over to Mr. Alcorn.
Thank if the applicant could come forward, please. If you'd be kind enough to read your the address of your business into the record and then introduce yourself to council.
The address is 233 and 235 North First Street here in Montrose, and it's a 1401. And my name is Carmen Trinidad Coronado.
So give us a little, my basic understanding of Mingle is quite a bit different than anything else council has seen. So explain what Mingle is, what you hope to accomplish, and how you're going to go about doing it.
So what I want to do with Mingle is like a sports bar. We would have food, you know, like mostly fried foods and hamburgers and stuff like that. It's going to be more of a quick serve. I would want to also do like different things at night, like on the weekends, like either Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. I want something where the whole community can take advantage of, not just Hispanics or any other kind of people. I know that that place has been known for just like Mexican restaurants, or like in the evenings on the weekend they would do like Mexican dances. I want something where the whole community can take advantage of. I want to do different kinds of like dance nights, maybe sometimes do concerts of all different types. I would like to do like, I don't know, like maybe like over 40 and over night, or, you know, like a country night, just different kinds, change it up. One of the ideas I have in mind as well is for our teenagers. I would like to do something where they would be able to go dancing, have fun, you know, but that would be completely alcohol free, and we would have security for them to be safe and everything. I have two teenagers myself. I have a 14-year-old and I have a 17-year-old, and they're always saying, well, there's nothing to do here. All we get to do is go hang at Walmart or go hang at Target. And they want something where they can go and they want to have fun with their friends and do some dancing. And especially my 14-year-old just had a blast at homecoming, for example. It was her first dance ever, and so she loved it. So I want to include our younger people, and in that night it would be just like teenagers only. There would be no alcohol or served whatsoever. But then I want to have the elderly and like the older people, like my age as well, you know, and younger, and all kinds of different things. I think it would be really nice to have somewhere where you can go and have different kinds of dancing nights, or maybe have a concert now and then. And that's what my plan is for the most part.
I'm going to get ahead of myself a little bit because we're going to talk about underage drinking, and probably that's my number one concern with your business model is controlling that. How, like, I like what you're discussing about the dance night, but I know how clever Roy and Doug were when they were 14 and how sneaky they were. So what are you going to do about controlling the stock? I mean, it's like, it's one thing not to serve them, but it's another thing to have a loaded bar in an establishment with a teen dance going on.
Yes, so I'm still working on that a little bit, but I'm planning to have something. We're still in the process of remodeling the area, the space where it's going to be located. So I want to have something where the alcohol is going to be locked up in the bar area. Like you said, it's loaded, but I'm trying to work on how it's going to be completely like locked, so there would be no access to alcohol. I'm also looking into different security companies and to see which one would be the best one, because I would want to have security with the teenagers as well, just to make sure nobody's taking in anything, because that's another possibility that I thought of. Kids can go and try to sneak something in, or they can go outside and maybe try, take some drinks outside and then try to sneak back in. So I'm looking into different ways of trying to control that. I was thinking, and I don't know if it would be a possibility to do something like either just somebody really specialized in kind of monitoring younger or people that are maybe intoxicated or smell, as like alcohol, or I was thinking maybe even getting like a blower if there's a possibility, but I still kind of have to look into that. But I am really thinking really hard about how I'm gonna do that, because I do want the kids to be completely safe and not to be drinking or go in intoxicated at any moment.
Okay, I like how you're thinking. I like that you're contemplating it. A couple resources I would encourage you to talk to is our school resource officers. Not that they can provide security, but they have grappled with a lot of these same issues at school sport events. They know the kids, they know, what they're up to. So I think that they can probably point you in some right directions. I'd also suggest you talk to Bud back there in the nice lavender shirt. He's kind of an expert dealing with kids and environments like that. So I think there are some good resources out there that want you to be able to succeed in what you're doing. The more formal part of our hearing, because of the size of Montrose, we determined that the neighborhood where you're going to draw patrons from is the entire city. Some larger cities have just, sections of it, but we look at the entire city. And one of the things we have to determine is if there is a desire of the community to have you in business serving alcohol. One of the things you did, you submitted some petitions, correct?
Correct.
Okay, looking at the signatures, 101 were submitted, 27 were determined to be insufficient or out of the neighborhood. So 74 signatures were determined to be valid and in support of this license. There were no signatures against the license. There were a number of comments that were written in support, and they are, I'm excited to help make this happen. Montrose needs this. We need this in our town. Great addition to Montrose. The new owners will run a quality business. Yes, please. So besides the petition, why have you determined that the citizens of Montrose want one more establishment serving alcohol?
Well, like I said before, I feel like there needs to be we need more places where we can go and have fun, not just during the day, go and eat and have a drink, but also later on the weekends, to have different kinds of nights going on. At least on my side, I never really hear about different kinds of dance nights, which is something that I really enjoy, is dancing. And other than just going to, what is that place called now? One of the bars that I know they do dancing. I really enjoy that. I would like to have salsa night or country night. I never hear about places where they do country dancing around here. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like that's a good addition to the city and for the people.
Okay. The next thing we're going to get into, the other thing, is your moral character and your ability to follow the laws as far as liquor. But Judy Ann, don't I recall you telling me this very room used to be used for community dances?
I heard that.
Yes, almost 100 years ago. This was the Elks facility, so this was the ballroom.
Doug
That's
probably knows
nice.
about that.
Doug probably had his first dance. So what is your background in an establishment like this that serves liquor?
I don't have background myself. I was talking to Lisa about classes. I know that there's no classes right now, but there's some classes that will be offered for liquor, just to learn everything about it and stuff. I myself have never worked like in a restaurant myself and stuff like that. So like background working in it, I don't have it. I will be honest on that.
Okay. What have you done to become familiar with the liquor laws of the state of Colorado?
I've been reading about him. Like when I go out to eat and stuff, I ask the waitresses as well and stuff.
There's a lot of good information online at the state. I would strongly encourage you to sign up and have all your staff sign up for the alcohol servers class.
Okay.
It will teach you a lot about recognizing over service. It'll teach you about checking IDs. There again, I would reach out to the law enforcement officers that teach that class. They can teach you a lot about IDs, looking for fake IDs, and what is an appropriate ID to use. And
Yes.
I suspect by the end of this meeting, at least one of the counselors is going to ask for your commitment that both you and your staff will participate in the alcohol server classes. So,
Yes, and that is something I have been planning on
Okay.
doing.
In some ways, it's a little easier to run a traditional bar because everybody coming through the door is being carded, checked, they're over 21. I like what you're doing with the family atmosphere and having nights, but it's going to be place a burden on you for underage drinking. So what is your approach? How are you going to make sure that you're not serving underage individuals?
Well, just start asking for their ID, making sure they are over the age. If not, they will not be served. Like I said, on the nights, like the dance nights or concerts and stuff like that, there will be security checking as well as getting like the bartender or the servers, making sure they are qualified and they know exactly what to look for, are responsible, and that they do have those alcohol classes. I forgot what you'd call them.
The alcohol servers class.
Alcohol service, yes. Make sure they have that as well so that they can recognize the signs, and myself as well. Getting the security and everything that is needed.
Mr. Mayor, from the staff standpoint, the liquor license is in order, and then pending your questions and your approval, that you can either vote today to grant or deny a license, or you can wait up to 30 days to make that decision. But I'll turn the hearing back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody present that would like to come up and speak in favor of this establishment? Yes, sir. If you'll give us your name and address, please.
I'm Len Orm, owner of the facility, general partner, and Montrose is my hometown. And so I'm excited to have this tenant. Her husband is already a successful businessman. When I vetted them, they demonstrated a very good feeling about what they were doing, and it was much different than anything we've ever had there. And they work hard enough and they're smart enough to actually make it happen. We've had a lot of failures in that building. So I'm excited to have them, and I know they will do the right things. And I'm an architect, and I can design a bulletproof storage facility for the nights that it's children only and teenagers only. All I had to do when I was a kid was drag Maine and get in trouble. And now they just go to the 24/7 places, that's Denny's and Walmart. And the parents can pick the kids up at 2 a.m. and take them home. And Walmart puts up with it because they don't want to anger the parents. And that's all they've got, basically. So I'm excited, and I'm very, very well, I'm at a loss for words. It's going to be good.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Again, name and address, please.
My name is Armando Coronado, husband of Carmen. And my address is 831 Chipira Road here in Montrose. And I'm a roofer for the last 22 years. And I have a business here in town called Pro Services. But she been push me asking for help because she wants to open something that can be nice for the city, can be nice for people that have something that people can talk good about, a place where they can have alcohol and fun. I can say we are really good dancers, all kinds of music, and we love it. We get married because we like to dance a lot. So we planning, we saving, over and over, and until now, we kind of put it together. She designs all kinds of stuff. Found help with the architect in town, so we speak a lot with the city members. Lisa tried to help her a lot, and she's have a books over the internet to see exactly what she can do. So I'm here to help her to make it happen. Another thing about the liquor is a big cooler where everything can be locked. It's a completely sealed with a big lock. There's no way the teenagers can break into. I think it's enough to me to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to speak in favor of? Is there any opposition? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to council for questions.
I just want to say I think your concept is really exciting. Kids need something that's fun to do, that's entertaining, and so I wish you a lot of luck in this business model. We are really concerned about kids getting alcohol, so be really serious and get your architect to put the bulletproof in place. But I think it's a wonderful thing for our community. Just manage it right and keep alcohol out of the hands of the kids, and then all the adults can have lots of fun dancing and enjoying your liquor service.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
Yes.
And the safety of the kids is one of my concerns as well. Like I said, I have two myself, and they're good kids, I gotta say. I haven't had any issues with them, and I just want them, as well as their friends and all the other kids in the community, to be able to have a place to go.
Right, I think that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You were talking about controlling the traffic of the kids coming and going. I believe that the youth council has done that when they've had programs out at the rec center. If a young person leaves that evening, they're not allowed to come back in. So that might be a thing to consider. And I don't know whether Ann might be able to answer that, whether or not the youth council would be someone for her to contact, since they do look for recreational activities. You might speak with Ann at some time and see if that's something that would be possible also.
Yes, thank you. I might be getting in contact with you.
I applaud you for wanting to do this activity area for teenagers. But I also applaud you for wanting to do this for adults. I'm thinking back eons ago when I was your age, and yes, there I can think of 2 particular places in Montrose that my husband and I would go quite often, just to dance and maybe only have a couple of drinks. But it wasn't necessarily going to a restaurant, it was actually going to a place with a dance floor.
Yes.
So I applaud you. I think that could be an interesting thing for our community. So thank you for wanting to do this.
Thank you.
Anything else? Close the hearing and would take a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve a hotel and restaurant liquor license at 233, 235 North First Street for Mingle Sports Bar LLC, doing business as Mingle.
I'll second that.
Please vote. And that passes unanimously. Good luck. Look
Thank
forward to
you.
coming and checking you guys out.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
And number 12, lift station elimination sewer construction contract change order number 1. Mr. Murphy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And
You playing Madden over there or what?
Don't wait for my
Okay, we're done now. Thank you, sir. It just completely disappeared. Technical difficulty day. Just wanted to make sure I get the right numbers. Thanks, Ann. So this is the same as we discussed at work session. This is for the lift station elimination project, which gets rid of 3 sanitary sewer lift stations on our system by constructing a new main line between East Oak Grove and Rio Grande, right by Stover's there, up to River Landing, which is kind of where Target, JCPenney's, all those are at. That also includes a lateral that goes up Ogden Road to get rid of a lift station by the Sears Hometown store. 2 of those 3 lift stations have come offline and are now flowing by gravity, which is a fantastic thing from us from a liability and maintenance standpoint. And we now have to do the 3rd leg, which goes up Ogden Road. Is all included in the original bid, but due to some design errors from an out-of-town designer that we likely won't use anytime soon again, we had to expand the scope of the project to make the grades work and make the sewer actually flow downhill. So that's what this change order is for, is to finish out this project. So it's all within the original project scope, essentially, just with the expanded additional length. And on the dollar side, we had 1.2 million budgeted for it. The original bid, we got a really good price at it, around 600,000. And so we have 600,000 left in that budget. So, so plenty of budget to do this. So not adding any new additional expenses above what was budgeted, and all within enterprise funds for the sewer, 100%. So the work will take place on the south side of Ogden Road. So you'll see some shoulder closures along there, but the intent is to keep that open throughout construction. So all the access to Chili's and Home Depot will all remain open. The trailhead at the end might get shifted. The parking for that might get shifted for a couple weeks during construction, but otherwise should just be along the edges. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions? Seeing none. I can take public comment if anybody would like to discuss this. Seeing none, I'll move for a motion.
I'll make a motion to award the change order in the amount of $113,400 to Mountain Valley Contracting construction contract for the lift station elimination project as presented.
I'll second.
Please vote. And that passes unanimously. And item 13, consider postponing the city council meeting scheduled for Tuesday, November 5, 2019, and to reschedule said meeting for Tuesday, November 12, 2019 at 11 a.m. and to renumber the following agenda items accordingly, which I guess we've done. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I suggested this afternoon at work session simply because I think November 5th is going to be a tremendous day for all of us. A lot of emotions involved. We're going to be very busy. And so I just, for the sake of staff and council, I would like to change it.
And you're referring to the fact that that is election night and the city has
I'm
a big
sorry.
issue on our local ballot.
Yes, sorry. Maybe other people don't know what's
Maybe
happening.
they don't.
See, we take so many things for granted at this point, right? So thank you, Mrs. Bynum.
I think that's a good idea. I'm glad you proposed that.
Yes.
Yeah, my idea too is that a lot of people will be watching the election. They'll be busy with other things on their mind. And so I like to get their concentration and focus in city council meetings. And so by doing this, it takes away that distraction, if you will call it that. That's a bad word. But anyway, it allows them to have the opportunity to participate or pay attention to our city council meeting and not be distracted by the activities of that evening. So I think it's a great idea.
And we don't often change council meetings, nor do I think we do it lightly, but we do have a 4 weeks notice before this meeting would then be scheduled. And I know we'll take every opportunity to advertise the new meeting time.
Any other discussion? Who would like this paper to make a motion?
So I will make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we postpone the city council meeting scheduled for Tuesday, November 5th, 2019, and reschedule said meeting for Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 at 11 a.m.
Thank you. I'll second.
Thank you. Please vote. And that passes unanimously. So please, everybody know we won't be here on the 5th, but we will be here on the 12th. And I guess I'll save my comments on the 5th for the end of the meeting. Which takes us to Shaney and Sales, Use, and Excise Tax Report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. This is the August 2019 Sales, Use, and Excise Tax Collection Report. Sales and use tax is collected for the city at 3%. August sales tax compared to the same month in 2018. Retail sales tax is at 4.3%. Construction use tax is actually down 43.1%. Use and auto use tax is down 19.7% with total collections up 1%. Budget variance is positive 9.3%. So we're doing okay in the budget. Year-to-date sales and use tax. Retail sales tax is at 5.3% or approximately $540,000. Construction use tax is down 17.3% or approximately $67,000. Use and auto use tax is down 7.9% or $71,000 with total collections up 3.5% or about $402,000. Continue to have a positive budget variance for the year at 7.7% or extra collection of $852,000. The Montrose Recreation District, back in 2014, the voters approved a 0.3% tax to be added to construct the Community Recreation Center. In August, we collected $160,186, or 0.2% more than we did in August of 2018. Year-to-date, $1,193,551, or 3.1% more year-to-date. Excise taxes, hotel excise tax adds 0.9% to our sales tax. Restaurant excise tax adds 0.8%. In August, hotel excise tax is up 3.2%. Restaurant excise tax is up 7.5%, with total collections up 6.4% and a positive budget variance of 10.6%. Year-to-date collections for hotel excise tax is up 12.9%, or about $9,000. Restaurant excise tax is up 5.9%, or $17,000, with total excise tax being up 7.2%, or $26,000. Again, a positive budget variance of 8.8%, or $32,000 more has been collected. Retail sales enhancement, this is the portion of the vendor's fee that goes into a fund to promote retail sales in Montrose. In August, we collected $32,765, or 4% more than we did in August of 2018. Year-to-date, we've collected $239,645, or 4.5% more through August of 2019. And with that, I'll take any questions or comments you may have.
Yeah, Shane, I'd like to make a clarification just so people understand. You mentioned the Montrose Recreation District, a 0.3%. We collect that money, and that money is held in our general fund until it goes to the rec department. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So if somebody was describing our general fund and didn't already take that money out, it's really not an accurate figure.
Correct.
Thank you. And I think that's really, really, really important, because there's people out there talking about our sales tax and not taking that money out, and so the figure that is appearing in places is not accurate, because they haven't, and there's other funds that should be removed from that general fund figure that people are using, but absolutely, because it's already over $1 million. It's almost $1.2 million at the end of August. So I think people really need to understand, when they talk about our general fund, part of that includes the recreation district, and it's not our money. It's strictly something we collect to give to the rec department by statute.
Correct.
Thank you. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Bell.
I think our police chief was going to come up and give us a report of just what's happening out in the community.
Thanks, everyone. There it goes. Okay. Hope it's on. So we actually had a busy last few weeks. I'd like to remind all of our citizens that they need to lock their cars. We've had quite a few motor vehicle thefts first, and then also quite a few motor vehicle break-ins. So once again, it's hard for me to even say this, but don't store firearms in your vehicle. That's really important, and then especially leave the vehicle unlocked. Also, we had a pretty major incident yesterday. There was a pursuit that was initially started by the Montrose County Sheriff's Office for an individual that was wanted for several felony crimes. Our officers in a situation like that, our primary responsibility is to the citizens, and so we will block intersections as the pursuit comes through our city. In this case, we ended up deploying stop sticks, which is a tool that we have in our patrol cars, and we're able to get a successful deployment, and that incident was ended or continued into the county and then ended by the Sheriff's Department. So that was kind of a crazy incident yesterday. So if you have questions from citizens about what all the activity was, that's what it was. And then lastly, as you know, this morning we did an official promotion ceremony for two individuals in our department, Chris Velasquez and Jonathan Roberts, who are now sergeants with our police department. Those are not new positions that were added. Those are filling vacancies in our supervisory ranks. And congratulations to them. They're great people, and we're really excited about that. So, thank you.
The only other thing I wanted to add is from our Public Works manager, as the leaves are beginning to fall out in the community, we're going to do the best we can keeping up with the curb and gutter areas and trying to sweep those out and keep the storm sewers clean. But we also want to encourage people to participate in the curbside leaf collection program, and we'll be starting in mid-November going curbside to pick up bags of leaves. And I believe bags can be picked up down at Public Works, the clear bags for leaves. So we encourage people to participate in that program. That's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Bill or Shani, question from council, and I'm not really sure the answer to this. The county also charges the sales tax for public safety, correct? And that's collected within city limits. Does that money come into the city, or does it go directly to the county?
I can address it, or you? Yep.
It does not come to the city at all. It is actually collected by the state and remitted back to the county.
Thank you.
Okay.
And with that, I'll turn it over to council.
I'd just like to thank the staff for the work they did on the budget. I know that put a few extra hours in your day, and the police department for the work that they're doing and the promotional the work that they're doing. I think it's very, very positive in going that direction. Thank you.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. Again, I want to congratulate the Montrose High School boys golf team for doing a three-peat and being 3-time state champions. That was a really great feat. But also, I want to express to this community what a good feeling that was last week when we had 84 golfers from around the state of Colorado here with their families and with their supporters. And the city of Montrose and Bridges reached out to these people and made them feel welcome. And I don't mean the city as government city, I mean as the community of Montrose. We did a great job of making them feel good, and it was a great experience for the kids. It was a great experience for all the adults there. So when you see a golfer, say something nice. Thank you.
So I wanted to comment about the comprehensive plan, that there's work still going on. I think the staff has done a terrific job with all the work they've done and bringing the community together, all the different contributions. And if you can help me, Bill, there's still an opportunity to for anyone to put input to the planning map that's online. And that goes through, I think, the end of this month or close to the end of the month. I'd like to, if you can, once again, just remind people how they can find that on the web, and any ideas they have, input, whatever, they can put it on that map. It's really a terrific tool.
Sure, thank you. Yes, until the end of October, community members can go online to cityofmontrose.org/comp plan, as in comprehensive plan, so COMPPLAN, and they'll access all of the information about the comprehensive planning process, as well as a link to our interactive map. And community members can look at the interactive map and see comments that people have already made either in our meetings or at home on their computers around town about things that they love about Montrose and things that they want to see changed or improved, or add a new comment. And if you see one that you like, you can just click like and you can bolster that comment. And we're looking forward to compiling all of that information. And also our planning department's been doing an excellent job of recapping the meetings so that if people have not been able to attend, they can read about what's going on and stay in touch with the meetings that way.
Thank you, Ann. Well said.
Barbara? I don't have anything this week.
I guess I want to just remind everybody that there is an election coming up. Ballots should be arriving to your house, apartment, wherever you get your mail this week. If you have any questions about 2A, please get hold of me. We have a Facebook page, One Community Safer Together. I don't know that we have any more public meetings scheduled. If there's more interest, we'll certainly pull them together. But please get your ballot, take your time to vote. If you don't understand the issues, again, please, if you can get hold of us. I really, please be very, very careful with figures that are being published over the internet. Many of them are not accurate. Montrose is not the third most expensive city in the state of Colorado. When people make comments like that, you can be pretty sure that everything underneath is about as accurate. So please, please study up on the issue, be educated, look at the Facebook page for One Community Safer Together. You can get hold of me personally on Facebook or through the city email. We're doing everything we can to make sure that this community is even safer than it is right now in the future. And I do want to thank Police Chief Blaine Hall taking his own personal time, vacation time that's allotted to him by the city to come and talk to people about this issue. I think it shows the kind of dedication that our city employees have and how much they believe in our community also. And with that, I would take a motion.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Thank you. We'll see you.